So we really are seeing that this is the future where things are heading. And given that, the world is becoming an ever slightly more fragile place at times, I think this is a much safer way to maintain freedom of navigation and keep the seaways open.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Philipp Stratmann. He is the CEO of Ocean Power Technologies. And Philipp, good to see you again. How are you?
Doing well, Steve. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, well, good to have you along. News out from the company today, following up on another contract, a reorder of about $1 million contract, and this is really on the military side, and maybe we'll talk about that, the importance of it, because these vehicles are showing they have some capability in the military, and you're seeing that in sales.
Absolutely. I think there's several reasons why this is very exciting for us. I mean, one, it is multiple vehicles operating all together. So this isn't, onesies or twosies. This is a small swarm of these vehicles operating together, doing work together with other assets in the field. The other reason why I think this is really important and very exciting for us is this is a follow-on contract. So this is a top up to work we've previously done with the US Navy. So what that's showing is that when we get our systems in the hand of the people that are operating them and that have a demand for them, they like them. They want more of them. They want to continue doing exercises with them. And I think this really gets you into the future of autonomous ocean operations.
Yeah, and this one deals with the Navy, but it also deals with a number of other providers as well, software and a bunch of different things. So it shows, I guess, the flexibility of the products that you have.
Yes, absolutely. And we've always said that, our systems are sort of, AI capable and can integrate with other systems. We're very pleased to have been working together with Episci Corporation, which is a US provider of autonomy systems for a while now. They're really sitting on the software side of that side. But what that shows is how well our systems work with other systems, be those other ocean drones, be that underwater systems, be that aerial systems, and enables the Navy or other operators in general to feed all of those data streams together to start building up a comprehensive picture of what's happening out there. And at the same time, tasking vehicles through this kind of software stack that is being worked up to do jobs that otherwise would have required people to be out there to do that themselves by hand.
Yeah. Just with the cost of things, and we've seen the rising cost of just about everything. Is this the way you're starting to hear from your contacts within the military that they want to go?
Yes, if you look, if you open the news and if if particularly if you're looking on the defense side of the world, there's lots of interest, if around, the Replicator initiative and various other efforts that certainly US Navy's got going on, but also that a lot of our allied navies, allied partners and their navies have got going on. And we really are seeing that push towards smaller scale autonomous systems that are attritable, that, remove the warfighter out of harm's way, enable us to do technology deployments and monitoring out of areas out in the ocean at a materially lower cost. You're talking orders of magnitude lower than it would have take you to put a manned warship out there to do monitoring. So we really are seeing that this is the future where things are heading. And given that the world is becoming an ever slightly more fragile place at times, I think this is a much safer way to maintain freedom of navigation and keep the seaways open.
Yeah. And lastly, just, you put a something like this and get a contract of this within the military. Branches of the military are notoriously never talk to each other. But when it comes to technology, it seems like the technology people always talk to each other. Are you hearing that as well? A bit more word of mouth that you're hearing about the company?
Yes, and we're seeing that across the various efforts. It was a couple of years ago. We obviously we deployed for Task Force 59 for the U.S. Navy out in Bahrain. We've been doing work on the West Coast for various parts of the U.S. Navy. We're doing work for other parts of the military. We're doing demonstrations for partners of ours. But we're also seeing that there's an increasing interest, and I think this is where the word of mouth gets really interesting
Mm.
around that kind of dual use technology that can be utilized by NOAA on the one side, but also by our commercial partners like Samara on the other. But then also with some modifications being deployed very easily, almost off the shelf with the military. And I think that's what's really getting people exciting is to kind of seeing all these technologies working together, operating together, and without having to be done through, the previous world of decade-long, development programs. This is just a much quicker way of getting to where things need to be. And certainly that community is talking to each other way more than it would have done in the past. And that's certainly the impression we're seeing.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Philip, thank you so much. Great to see you again, and congratulations on the new deal.
No, thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. Thanks for being on again.
All right, there's Philip Stratman, the CEO of Ocean Power Technologies.